I got started with Indigo. I was actually doing a lot of photography in Japan. I went there after college to teach, and I was doing black and white photography with students at the school where I was teaching, and learned that all of the chemicals that we were putting down the drain were going right into the water, and that got me interested in stopped doing photography and started working with natural dyes who were very conscious of how the materials they were using impacted their environment, and that sort of got me on the path of natural dyes. The resist process is just stitched, and then the cloth is gathered together, and the pressure that creates stops the dye from getting in to create the resist and to create patterns. The hardest part is probably what you don't see here, which is this indigo all comes from plants that I've grown and processed, and that work alone takes a year, essentially from the time you plant seeds until you have the finished indigo. So there's a lot of work. In that vat of liquid, you have the three things that you need for indigo dyeing. You've got the indigo molecules themselves that come from the indigo plants that grown and processed. Indigo is not soluble in water. If you mix it with water, it's all just going to sink to the bottom. You need an alkali to get it into solution. So that's the majority of the liquid in the vat actually comes from wood ash lye. So by leaching the wood ash in hot water and taking that liquid, you've got the indigo, you've got the alkali, and then the third thing that you need is reduction and oxidation. So the indigo molecules themselves, when they're normal out in the world, when they're blue, like my hands, that is its oxidized state, and that's its normal state. It oxidizes with oxygen in the air. But in order for it to adhere to fiber, it has to be reduced, which means the oxygen has to be removed from the indigo molecule. And only when it's reduced will it adhere to the fiber that you're trying to dye. So in the vat, we've got the indigo and the alkali, and the last thing you need, the reduction, comes from fermentation. And that fermentation is basically bacteria that are living, that exist in the composted indigo, that are aerobic. When you mix them together with the wood ash, they come to life, and they eat oxygen in order to survive, and they essentially eat the oxygen out of the vat and reduce the indigo so that you can dye your cloth.